It's a short one. It's a 15-minute one.
Well, guys, it turns out that Crunchyroll has committed a federal crime.
Really? Alright, hold on. I'm gonna share this one. First of all, I actually am I quote unquote am a supporter of Crunchyroll because I do have Crunchyroll, but I'm not a fan of like of course, like the censorship and stuff that they were doing. They were doing quite a bit of like they were doing dubs that were like incorrect or wrong, or like were pushing a particular agenda. So I wasn't a fan of that. I'm not a fan of censorship when it comes to that. So no real love or hate relationship with Crunchyroll. I use the service, but I really don't like
it's not something that they've done in just one instance. It's something that they've been doing for the last 5 years. We only found out about it very recently, though, on October 25th, when David Wald, a voice actor, tweeted that if he's been sent anything in the last 5 years in terms of fan art, fan letters, anything, then he has not received it because apparently Crunchyroll has been stealing all of it. This is in direct violation of U.S. federal law.
How is that
or more
allowed?
specifically, the U.S. Code 1702, obstruction of correspondence. This has gone absolutely viral. Everyone is talking about it if they're in the anime sphere in the West. And I feel like it's not only the perfect opportunity to raise more awareness on this disgusting behavior, but to also sit down with you and show you why Crunchyroll has been a terrible company for years now, and that this only adds more to their shady, unpleasant history. Let's talk about it. So Crunchyroll, as it stands, is the biggest anime distributor / streamer in the West. So if you're outside of Asia, this is most likely the service that you're using for anime, unless you're a pirate. Some people, and even publications,
I use Crunchyroll,
like the South China Morning Post, credit Crunchyroll for turning Japanese anime mainstream in the West. It's a very impressive company with its size in non-Asian countries and its catalog. But it wasn't always this anime licensing sweetheart. In fact, at some point, Japanese license holders wanted to take the website down. You see, the website was founded in 2006, and back then it was a pirating website. Not a single thing on this page is legal. But it wasn't just about anime, it was about anything. Whether it be Asian drama, things related to video games, it was like YouTube, but for pirates, where anything could be uploaded. There were no limits, except maybe adult videos. This is the exact website you would have seen in 2006. Bleach's 108th episode had just come out, and Naruto's 214th episode had just come out as well. It's a crazy time capsule. In 2008, they somehow convinced a venture capital firm by the name of Venrock, based out of Palo Alto, California, to invest $4 million into them. After this, they sought to become legal, a legitimate space to share anime content. On January 8, 2009, they signed a deal with TV Tokyo to host episodes of Naruto Shippuden. Obviously, you can see how big of a deal that is. And immediately started to delete all the illegitimate content on its website that they don't hold rights to. They then continued to get more and more anime licensed from Japan for their Western audience. And you know what? They had a talent. They knew how to choose the animes that they licensed and then translate.
I mean, so far, this is kind of a W. Like this is kind of like a,
because of course, there's a lot of anime that gets made every single season. This is what made them different. No one could really compete that much with them because anime wasn't really seen as a big deal until very recently. This is when Sony decided to create Funimation, a direct competitor of Crunchyroll, back in 2017. Now, of course, seeing that it's Sony, they had one hell of a lineup of popular anime, but they didn't really know how to pick more underrated ones that the Western audience would enjoy, at least not as well as Crunchyroll did. But honestly, who cares? You have an industry and you have multiple competitors all trying to do their own thing. That's very healthy. But unfortunately, that didn't last too long. In August of 2020, there were reports coming out that Sony actually wanted to buy Crunchyroll. Things were advancing. They had offered $1.1 billion to buy it. But on March 24, 2021, as things were coming to a close, the United States Department of Justice extended its review of this because they thought that maybe, just maybe, this could become a monopoly of anime outside of East Asia.
Yeah, they're buying out all the competitors.
Some way. I don't know who got bribed, who got threatened, but it got approved. And in August 2021, the deal was finalized. It
Oh,
was
that's
one
a
of the
monopoly.
biggest
That is
mistakes in the
100% a
anime
monopoly.
industry because this effectively meant that Sony had become the major monopoly when it comes to anime content outside of Asia. Seeing that Sony owned so many anime streaming websites, including Wakanim, which was in France, they decided to merge everything into Crunchyroll, really solidifying the idea that they're now a monopoly. One of the main reasons why people hate Crunchyroll and of course Sony is due to this monopoly. I mean, look at this email that was sent to existing Funimation customers when the merger happened. The first few paragraphs are reassuring you that, hey, don't worry, your account info isn't going to change, your watch history, all your preferences, everything is staying. But then you read the final paragraph and it says this: as part of our transition to Crunchyroll, the price of your new Crunchyroll plan will increase from $55 a year to $100 a year beginning January 28th, 2025. So yes, the price you were paying had effectively doubled overnight, and you couldn't do anything about it. What were you going to do about it? Go to a different service? Oh wait, Sony owns everything and now it's under Crunchyroll. But even worse, and I think this is probably the worst part in all this,
How the
Funimation
freak
had something
is a
Crunchyroll
monopoly
didn't.
just getting through?
Instead of having to pay for a subscription, you could just flat out buy
I just
the
have
anime
to say, this is how you know that the United States government is such BS with their freaking rules. When they just
that you
allow
wanted
monopolies,
digitally
they
so you could
actually
watch it
allow
anytime.
monopolies to just
Well,
exist
Sony
like
said,
this.
"F you and what you own. You don't actually own anything." This was the explanation Crunchyroll gave you when you inquired about your Funimation digital copies. They said, "We understand that you may have concerns about your digital copies from Funimation. Please note that Crunchyroll does not currently support Funimation digital copies, which means that access to previously available digital copies will not be supported. However, we are continuously working to enhance our content offerings and provide you with an exceptional anime streaming experience. We appreciate your understanding and encourage you to explore the extensive anime library."
Now that's scummy. That's scummy, and I'm pretty sure that's a scam. Because you paid. You paid money to have digital copies of those movies, and if they are taking that away from you, then I feel like that's a scam. Like, how is that not a scam?
Library available on Crunchyroll. So this was a very disgusting corporate speak way of saying that everything you own is now in the gutter, you will never be able to access it again. F you. I mean, Ubisoft said that gamers should get used to not owning their...
This is honestly why any good anime or any good anime movie that I love, I get the Blu-ray of it, because it's never you're never like, I have a Blu-ray player that I can just play whenever I want, you know, and so I don't concern myself with that. But if it's an anime that I'm like gonna watch one time and then probably never again, really, I don't mind too much.
Disgusting corporate speak way of saying that everything you own is now in the gutter, you will never be able to access it again. F you. I mean, Ubisoft said that gamers should get used to not owning their copies.
This is why I never buy, like, digital copies of anything that I want to keep. I got a physical copy of Dead Space. I got a physical copy of Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Let me see. Sorry, I don't wanna lose you on my camera. Luckily, this camera's wireless. So I'm gonna step away from my monitor, my desk. It's like, okay. Like, as far as physical copies, I'm away from the mic, but as far as physical copies go, I got Rage, the original Anarchy Edition, Borderlands 1 and 2, the entire Mass Effect trilogy, all the Batman Arkhams, all of them, except for, like, Origin and up. Killzone 1 and 2, Crisis 1, 2, and 3, Dishonored, Dead Space 2, Dead Island, Sega Genesis remake for Sony, Dark Souls 2, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, all the games that I'm like, oh, this is you know, game of the year. This is like a game that I can see myself playing for the rest of my life. I buy a physical copy of. I never, ever, ever, ever trust digital. Never trust it. Now, don't get me wrong. Of course, there's like gonna be very unique situations. Look at Gaben. Like with Steam, Steam has always been really good about stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if something happens to Steam, that's it. That's it, baby. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. You never know. You never know.
of saying that everything you own is now in the gutter, you will never be able to access it again. F you.
Don't trust
I mean,
digital
Ubisoft
copies.
said that gamers should get
If you
used to
actually wanna
not
keep
owning
something.
their copies. Look at their stock price.
Yeah, to be fair, Ubisoft, it's not that people need to get used to not owning Ubisoft games. Ubisoft needs to get used to people not wanting to buy their games, because their games have been garbage for a while now, and from the look of it, they're gonna be garbage for a while.
Do not want to be like Ubisoft. This is what a monopoly actually looks like, and it's terrible. That's not the only thing though. Look, anime is Japanese. It was created in Japan. Crunchyroll knows this, and they actually have a studio in Shibuya, Tokyo to make original anime. At some point though, they decided to use subscription money to create their own studio in Burbank, California to make anime within the United States. As you can
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see an issue with that at all. That's fine. What do you think anime is, actually? Anime is literally just, like, Eastern culture trying to copy cartoons. You understand that, right? Anime just is short for animation. Like, are we forgetting that Japan, like, did not invent anime? Like, why do you think anime has such big freaking eyeballs? It's because they tried to copy Snow White. That's why that style exists in anime. It's because they were trying to copy Snow White. Anime is just, like, anime from its very existence was like Japan's way of trying to make cartoons, like Western cartoons. So I don't see an issue whatsoever with Crunchyroll trying to make their own stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I've heard nothing but bad things about High Garden Spice, but that's beside the point. I don't see an issue whatsoever with studios using, like, subscriber money to try to make their own stuff. That seems legitimate to me. That seems fair. Now, if they're also, like, when it comes to, like, my subscription money, like, I am totally fine saying, because I am subscribed to Crunchyroll, I'm fine with saying Crunchyroll took my subscription money and used it to create a garbage cartoon that's 1.6 out of 10 stars. You get me? I'm fine with that. That's their failure. They lost all that money I gave them. I don't like Crunchyroll using my subscription money to pay employees that are purposefully mistranslating translations to fit an agenda and to fit, like, the current Western political agenda. Like, that's not what I don't like that. I keep saying agenda. I don't even know what the freaking agenda is. I don't like how they try to add all this politic talks. It's freaking weird. They try to, like,
from the rating, 1.6 out of 10.
With that one chick, the big booba dragon, saying that, like, the reason why she wore a sweater was because of she wanted to defeat the male patriarchy, which is stupid and had nothing to do with the anime, or even, like, wasn't even a translation. She just added that because she wanted to be a freaking, I guess, advocate of something.
Utter disaster. High Guardian Spice is the biggest piece of shit to come out of anime in the last 10 years. It was marketed as anime for diverse groups, most notably highlighting their LGBTQ+ representation. Well, you know you fucked up when even people in the LGBTQ+ hate this show to death. Like, no.
Like, here's the issue becomes when, rather than making a compelling story about LGBTQ people, you're making an LGBTQ story and hiding it behind a bunch of anime. And that's the problem, is that you're not actually trying to make a good show. You're, like, people nowadays, and I'm saying this, like, pretty openly about a lot of games nowadays. But looking at you, freaking, what's that game by freaking, Bethesda that you just keep, the freaking space one? I got married to the British chick. This one. Why can't I freaking remember this? Spacecraft. Bethesda game. Freaking Spacecraft. No, not Spacecraft. Spacecraft is Starcraft. No, Starfield. Starcraft is different. Starcraft is actually a good game. Starfield. I married, what's her face? That chick. And she had, like, the stupidest dialogues for the whole marriage ceremony. Not during the ceremony. It was just, like, everything about it was weird. It felt very much like somebody, like, at the office was, like, just saying what their personal modern day era wedding would be like. And it's just like, This doesn't feel like a space marriage. This doesn't feel like I'm a space explorer getting married to another genius, intelligent space explorer woman that like she's like she acts like she's like the Laura Croft of space. While she freaking she hates being behind a desk and hates being the leader of the thing, but she because she prefers to be on the field, living, exploring, seeing the unknown. I'm like, yeah. You'd think that she'd want to get married, like I don't know, in space, next to a black hole, or a nebula, or in the middle of a spaceship out, and so I don't know, something. No, she's like, let's go to. You want to go to like a pool? You want to go to a hotel resort? Let's go get married by the beach. Let's go get married by the beach at a resort. It's like, what the frick? This is what we're doing. We're gonna get a bungalow and get married at a frickin' pool party. What the frick is this? It was so lame. I'm sorry. It was just so freaking lame. I'm sorry. I've been to gay weddings before. They are way more entertaining than a stupid little like let's get married by the freaking beach at a resort. It's like, what? At least put a little bit of it. Like,
likes this. This is
she didn't
terrible.
wear a wedding dress.
When you become a monopoly, you become lazy
family
and
members were
complacent.
invited.
You
Nobody
stop
came to the
taking
wedding.
risks, and you completely forget what
Not
made
even
you
the other
great.
main characters from the game came to the wedding. It was just me, her, and like some random lady who apparently retired like 20 years ago or something like that.
In the first place. This
It was
show
boring.
is proof of that. Oh, and let's not forget that at the end of 2023, they had to settle a class action lawsuit with their own consumers because they violated the United States Video Privacy Protection Act by disclosing its subscribers' personally identifiable information to third-party companies like Facebook, Adobe, etc. Of course, it's a very large list. They initially tried to deny the claim, okay? They lied, but then settled anyway to avoid any uncertainties or expenses associated with continuing the case. So not only were they a monopoly, not only did they double the price of annual subscriptions and are offering nothing to show for it, they were also selling their own users' data. And by the way, the settlement was terrible.
You sold my data? What the frick, Sony? You pricks?
$30 per Crunchyroll user. Like, wow.
I mean, to be fair, that's literally every company nowadays. There's still pricks for doing it, though.
Oh, thanks. My data probably cost more than that. But these 3 reasons I just gave you, I think, are enough for you to think, wow, this is a terrible, lazy monopoly that...
I just feel like if you're gonna sell my data, like, do it, okay, fine. But why are you raising the price on me as well? Like, how valuable is my data? I should be getting a discount for you selling my data. You shouldn't be charging me double. This is some BS, Sony. If you're gonna be selling my data, at least drop the prices.
It can do whatever it wants because no one can even
frick is
compete.
this?
This brings us back to the crime that they committed against David Wald. Now look, David
Bro,
Wald
we
is
haven't even gotten into the actual FBI crimes they've been doing.
a seasoned voice
What do
actor.
they
He's been
even
in the
do?
industry
I don't
for
even
a
know what
long
they've done yet. I've just been freaking... What?
time.
I've just
He
been
doesn't just
complaining.
dub anime, which is the act of voice acting English dialogue.
Oh? He does the voice of this guy from Fist of the North Star. Oh, he was in Spice and Wolf as well. Oh, and he's from Fairy Tale as well. Wait, who is he playing? Who's that?
Dialogue for something
Is that
that
the guy with
isn't
the nose?
originally in
No, who is
English,
that?
but he also voice
That's
acted
not
in
the guy with the
games.
nose, is it?
Some of the biggest animes he's dubbed in were Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia.
Oh, he's that dude? Oh, and he's... Oh, that guy, the pissed off dude. I like that guy. I like both. I actually watch My Hero in both English and Japanese dub. I like this guy. He's cool.
Or even Vinland.
Oh, Vinland Saga. Haven't watched it. I'm planning on watching it. Actually, I gotta say something on this, and might as well. This is the video for it. We watched Smiling Friends, and we watched the Fallout series. We haven't finished the Fallout series. I'm going to, I promise you. It's just that I'm trying to figure out how to edit the Smiling Friends video so that I like, it's allowed to be on YouTube. And then I can, like, once I figure out the magic combination of, like, how YouTube lets me do this stuff, I'm going ham, baby. You don't even know.
Vinland Saga. Now you'd
I just
think
need
that
time, I'm sorry.
Crunchyroll would give a veteran voice actor like himself the
Well, yeah,
respect.
we're gonna definitely do Vinland Saga. A lot of people recommended that one. We're gonna do One Piece, like the entirety of One Piece. Starting from episode 1, because I'm a lifelong fan. I love all the lore, and it's gonna be less like it's gonna be not a first time reaction. It's gonna be like nerds nerding out about like One Piece. So definitely expect to see that in the future as well.
he deserves.
But yeah, we're
well,
definitely doing
no.
that.
It turns
I
out
might do
Crunchyroll
Naruto.
has been
No,
receiving
you know what I might
packages
do? Because I need to catch up, actually? I might do Bleach. But let me know what other stuff you want to do. High Garden Spice, I feel like it would be awesome to do. It would be hilarious, I feel like. There's a lot of shows that I would like to do, but since I've already seen other people doing them, I want to avoid them. I want to do Cookie and Dungeon. And I want to do, frick, what's the name of that anime? I'll remember if I can remember, but there was another anime that I was going to do. There was another show that I was going to do, but I can't do it because freaking, I think Nux Otaku's doing it. Currently, so I'm just not gonna touch it. I was gonna do Steven Universe, but I think he just started doing that one. Well, now I don't know if he's gonna continue with that one, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't know anything about Steven Universe. I watched the first season, liked it, and then sort of never caught back on. I don't know why.
For David and distributing
what
them
kind
to
of shows you
staff
want me to watch.
instead without him
that would be like Twitch
knowing
and Kick.
for 5
YouTube,
years.
you're not gonna get it for a while,
Look at this
bro.
tweet as
I'm
an
gonna be honest
example.
with
He
you.
says, "Dear fellow workers at Crunchyroll, below is a photo of
do
the
a
complete
Patreon
contents
just
of
to,
one of
like-
the packages addressed to me
For
that
like
was
$1, you guys can like just unlock everything. No limits. Just give me $1. And just you can watch everything uncensored, because otherwise YouTube's gonna take forever for me to actually get to it.
open and distributed to employees.
I'm sorry.
If you ended up in possession of any of it, I would
got
very
slop
much
to
like
make. I
it
gotta make my
returned to
slop
me.
before I make my.
And as you can
like-
see, there are many things here. I should
YouTube,
mention
like,
all of this
anime reactions.
is handmade. Even this, even though it looks like an official magazine. The character
That looks freaking phenomenal. I really thought this was an official magazine. I'll be honest. So he plays this guy too? That's so cool. This got keychains, stickers. An actual magazine. Is that a body pillow? That's a body pillow, isn't it? Don't lie to me. Bro, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I hope, shout out to anybody out there on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube that needs a voice actor. I hope someday I could get to the point where people are like doing fan art stuff like this for me. I freaking love this, dude. This is it's because it's like, you gotta understand, people like Tom Kenny and Joe DiMaggio, Tara Strong. Oh, why am I blanking out on her name? She did Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Oh, why am I blanking out on her name? I freaking love her so much. But like, there's so many freaking great voice actors and actresses. Tom Kenny, who don't know SpongeBob. Like, there's so many freaking actors and actresses that I just love to the bottom of my heart. And they, because they even like, and I know, so in some cases they might not. I'm not glorifying them. I don't know what their personal life is like, but I love the voice acting that they've done. What's his name? Is it Dana? Dana White, the guy who plays Master Shake. I just love him. Michael Jones as well is another great voice actor. Lindsay Jones. That's more of like a YouTube era fanboying, but you get my point. The point is that all these voice actors really freaking hit me when I was a young kid. As a young kid, back when I was like 10 years old maybe, bro, I used to run around the house trying to mimic the voice of Mojo Jojo. You know, and I freaking loved Mojo Jojo, bro. Powerpuff Girls, are you kidding me? If I had to say, oh my goodness, dude, I'm sorry. I'll stop. But I love the idea of voice acting because it's like, I love the idea of people not really worrying about or thinking about or caring about you, the individual, the actor, don't look at me, the actor. Look at the character. That kind of vibe, you feel me? I love those actors that are like that. The guy who played Kylo Ren is one of those dudes where he's like, don't look at me. There's the character, then there's the actor. Harrison Ford. A lot of people talk trash about Harrison Ford because he said that he only ever looks at his characters as a job, as a paycheck, not as a person. He doesn't put his emotions into it. And you know what? To some people, that's messed up. But to me, I say, you know what? Smart. Because that he understands the assignment. You need to play the role, the character, not what you think the character should be. You didn't create the character. You didn't write the character. You are the voice actor. You have to make the character that the artist created come to life. You get me? There's a big difference. Big difference. And that's the kind of stuff I love. I love talking. I just love the voice acting, the process, discussions, everything. I'm sorry. Is that a door handle that like goes into his butthole? That is, isn't it? Is that straight up like a do not disturb sign with a butthole in it? What is this? What am I looking at?
itself is Inosuke Shindo, and this
What
is
is that?
someone that David voices in dub. And Harumi quote tweeted this, saying, "I remember when my friend put this together to send to you. It was a group effort. Everyone was so looking forward to you getting it. This is extremely..."
Oh, she sent it with all of her friends. They got together to send that.
"Heartbreaking." David replies and says, "I promise you the situation will be rectified. We're just lucky you sent me a photo of the unique contents and the USPS tracking info." To
Oh,
which
he
Harumi
got the
said,
USPS tracked. Oh, that is United States Postal Service, baby. Oh, Crunchyroll, you messed up, bro.
"All their efforts in doing so. I
Damn.
really hope this gets resolved. I'm so sorry to hear about
Damn,
this."
you
So
don't
imagine
touch
taking
US
so much
mail.
time to make a care package.
Bro, yes, I'm sorry. For those who are not in the United States of America, or who do not know much about the United States of America, there is one thing you just do not mess with here. And this has been it's a long-standing taboo for many reasons I'm not going to discuss, because frankly I might get, I'm pretty sure I'll get freaking shadow banned for. But let's just say there's been a lot of situations with the United States Postal Services, and a lot of people have tried to use it for nefarious purposes as well. So, in general, whenever you mess with like mail in the U.S., it's a big no-no. It's a big no-no.
Package like this
Big
specifically
no-no.
for the person dubbing your favorite character in an anime, and finding out so much later that no, it was just passed around employees and he never received it. I mean, imagine how David feels having something like this made specifically for him and not even receiving and not even being notified about it. It's insane. There was a quote tweet saying that all the
Especially
employees
something like
received
this,
it.
bro. Are you kidding? You don't think if I was in his position and I got a freaking magazine, like it looks like an official magazine? Are you kidding me? This is getting framed. This is going up on a frame somewhere, bro.
I mean, imagine how David feels having
My
something like
ultimate
this made specifically
YouTuber
for him
dream,
and
like
not
I
even
know I've
receiving it,
made
not
it
even...
some, like, there's a couple of things in my life that I'm like, I made it. I made it as a YouTuber. A, I can pay my rent just by doing YouTube. No duh, right? But B, and this is when you know you've made it as far as like, yeah, I have a community. I have fans. I have, like, when you know you've really made it, when you're like, I have a community of people that love me. That's when you have a fan wall. You ever seen that Rooster Teeth fan wall where they had an entire billboard just full of like stuff? I would love to like pick a wall, just an entire freaking wall in my house, just be like, that is the fan. That is just nothing but fan wall stuff. Like, and it's like, there's like, don't send, like, to a certain degree, don't send me stuff that's like you're gonna want to like preserve, because I'm gonna like just slap glue on the back of it and stick it on the wall as wallpaper. Like, it's gonna, like, someday, bro, someday I think it's gonna be great.
And being notified about it. It's insane.
Because you know we get there,
was
baby.
a
We're
quote tweet
almost at
saying that all
500.
the
Let's
employees should be
go.
fired for this, but David specified
500
the
before the
employees
end of
are
the year,
definitely
baby.
not to blame.
We're almost at
They just walked by
400.
the
Let's
company
go. Please be
freebies
sure to
table and thought
subscribe. We're
something
like
looked
6
cool.
away,
The
baby.
management who elected to
YouTube.
take this course of action, however, are another matter.
Yeah, we're at
If you work at a
394,
company
baby.
that does a lot of collaborations, you'd understand.
Sorry, every time I look at it, bro. Every time I look at it. Bro, we've gotten 38 subs in the last month. Let's go, baby. I'm sorry. I freaking get giddy every time I look at it, bro. You have no idea. I genuinely had zero confidence in me achieving like this. I never thought. I of course everybody hopes that they make it big instantly. But after the quote unquote first year of doing YouTube, I really never thought I'd make it to I didn't think I'd make it to 400 this year, let alone possibly even now. Now I'm actually like excited. Maybe I shouldn't, but now I'm actually excited that I could even reach 500 by the end of the year, bro. I'm sorry. I just had to point that out. I'm so giddy. Go, I'm sorry, Mujin. I'm so sorry. I got the attention
The
span of a
companies you
squirrel.
work with will send you freebies all the time, and you take them. But someone else in higher management getting a package that says David Wald, choosing to open it and then distribute it to employees, that's something else entirely. I've also seen some people...
No, I get that. I totally understand David Wald here, and I love this take. Those employees are definitely not to blame. They just walked by the company freebies table and thought something looked cool. The management who elected to take this course of action, however, are another matter. 100% agreed. Yeah, like, even when I was the manager of the locations that I would be at, it would be very, very rare, but there would be a lot of situations where it's like, company XYZ just sent us four brand new repair kits. Now, the company's not going to do jack squat with those repair kits. Why? Because the company buys their own repair kits for their employees. But if you're one of my employees And it's like, it's Christmas time, so they're like, hey, here you go, a bunch of repair kits. And it's like good repair kits, like it's the full set, like it's one of these, like I don't know if they sell it, but let me it's one of these. So we would get these sent to us for free. And I'll show you the exact one it was. It was the Mako kit. It was a Mako kit, which is awesome. I'm gonna be real with you though. If you ever need to actually fix a cell phone, you don't need the Mako kit. The Mako kit is a little exaggerated. This is like, not exaggerated, right? This is everything you will need at a electronics repair shop, like computer tech, all that stuff. But you really only need the Moray, $20, and it has more, like, let's see here. You have a T3, T4, and T5, which pretty much can handle most like Apple like related stuff. You have your Y00, Y00, most iPhone stuff. You have good amount of Torx. The Y00 is honestly a bit of like they do tend to undo themselves pretty quickly, but this one in particular, like you can always send it to iFixit and get a brand new one for free. As long as you actually mail it out to them and like fill it out. But then yeah, you have your Pentalobes, P2 is always gonna open any iPhone, 000, freaking Philips, like you got everything you need. You're never gonna freaking like need anything else. This is everything you need to fix an iPhone is here. As long as you have the spudger, this thing, or some kind of spatula to actually like pop the screens out, you'll be fine. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that they would send us these kits. So it wasn't like the cheap Morays. It was like a nice $40 kit. Back in the day when I was still working there, it was like a $60 kit. So they would send us like 4 of these. And yeah, I would just like look at all my employees. I'd be like, hey guys, look, we got these kits. We also got some straps. Let me see if I can show you the straps. We also would get straps. We would get straps, we would get coffee mugs, and we would get like actual boxes of pens with their logos on it. And so I would just like fly. The pens, realistically speaking, I took like half of them and put them up on the front desk, and then the rest I would just hand them out to everybody. Here's a new spudger toolkit. Here's a new like to the employees. I normally never really had more than 4 or 5 employees at a time, so I would just hand them out. The chocolates, the stuff, that's fine. That happens in any business where you just have an excess of whatever the frick, and you're like, hey, whoever needs it, whoever wants it, take it. The company does not need this, and the company does not want this. Like, but it's just gonna go to the trash. So, understandable, it is what it is. Employees should not be blamed if the company offers them something and they accept it. But if me, as a manager, if I saw that kit and it said, hey, this kit is sent to the, whatever the frick, to, Tommy Two Shoes, who works at the company, and it's like addressed to him, I can't freaking touch that. That's not mine. That's not the company's. You get me? You don't open that. You like, period.
Management getting a package that says
that
David
wasn't directly
Wall,
sent to
choosing
the store,
to open it and
specifically to the store. It would say the company's name. It wouldn't say the name of the person. It wouldn't say, if it said the name of the owner, didn't touch it. If it said the name of the company, I touched it. That's a big difference. Big
distribute
difference,
it to employees. That's something else.
This is something that should have been taught to you in any freaking manager. Like, besides being common sense, let's be honest. This should be discussed by your freaking higher ups. Come on. If you're the manager, if you're an actual like higher up in the company, get your act together, bro. This is day one stuff.
Entirely.
You don't
I've
touch
also
your
seen some people say,
mail.
well, why didn't he just put his home address?
And yes,
This is
I've had
partly
many
his
employees
fault. Well,
mail
think about
stuff
it this
to the
way.
store.
If there was a crazy obsessed fan out there, wouldn't they just go to his house?
Sometimes it was because it's like a case, it's too massive, it's too large, they wouldn't be able to deliver it at their house. We're a computer company, yeah, a computer case that's for your personal use. Have it mailed here, it'll be under your name, we won't touch it. You know, like, come on, bro.
On the door and leave a package
Even
for him
if I wasn't
personally.
told about
What
it, I
David
wouldn't
did is
touch it.
actually
Like, I would
very
go
common.
ask, like, hey,
If you're
how come
watching
this
this
arrived here
video
with your
and
name
work
on
in
it?
an office, you probably
Come
do
on.
the same thing. Maybe you send your Amazon packages to your office. That way you receive them on the job. And with
Yeah,
no one...
this is something that's pretty common, pretty standard here in California. It's not like 100% like, oh, what the frick, it happens all the time. Everyone does it. No. It's not like that quite necessarily. but it's something you will see in common practice here. All right, let's not
letting
act like
him
it's
know
not.
that there's a package that arrived at Crunchyroll, like how would he know? The only reason
You
he knew
email
about
him
this was
on the
because the people who
company's
sent it
business,
gave him the
and if you have
tracking
a problem
info.
with
He
it,
saw
you
it arrived and
inform
that he
him.
never received it.
Through
That's what's
email,
incredible
written
here.
down.
So what the hell happens
Always
next?
written.
As you might have already guessed, stealing mail in the United States is a federal crime. I'd love
Yes,
to sit
sir.
here and tell you that this is going to be the end of Crunchyroll, but the law itself is actually...
No, more than likely what's going to happen is whoever the person in charge of opening that mail is likely either going to get fired or the entire company as a whole is going to get fined for breaking the law. And even if he did it, like, personally, the company's going to have to be held accountable for it. So more than likely, Crunchyroll's just going to get hit with a penalty or a fine, to be honest with you, because he more than likely did it on a company time, which means he was doing it basically on behalf of the company. More than likely, I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a fine at most. It's going to be a fine to the company. From there, I think it's just going to be the public outcry. I think it's just going to be the public punishment.
actually pretty damn vague. According to Legal Mindset, who is a lawyer on YouTube that I like to reference sometimes...
Here's somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, though. I'm just someone who, used to freaking be a manager of a place, but don't take
Whenever there are legal problems, this line right here that says, before it has been delivered to the person...
Do your own research. Don't believe everything I say. I'm just a freaking random monkey on the internet. Sorry, a ghost lady, Sadako on the internet. Coming to your screen! I'm just...
To whom it was directed is the problem.
I step
so
out
the
of
law
your
itself
monitor
says,
right now, what you do?
if you tamper with something before it's delivered to the person, you're in trouble.
What I do, baby? I'm about
is
to
the
hunt you.
person? It says the person to whom it was directed. Well, technically, the package says David, sure, but the address is Crunchyroll HQ. When the judge looks at this, they will actually side with Crunchyroll, unfortunately, because technically the package arrived at the right address. Whether someone else opened it or tampered with it doesn't really matter. You're not the only one to think that this sucks, but unfortunately that's the legal reality. I do hope that the higher-up manager, though, suffers direct consequences because this is disgusting, and we have to ask this question. How many other voice actors are going through the same thing without even knowing? This is why we need a statement from Crunchyroll ASAP. Crunchyroll has been in absolute silence.
I'm gonna say this right now. Crunchyroll is not a YouTuber. They're not stupid. They're never gonna respond. They're never gonna say anything. And unless Matt takes legal action against them, more than likely they're just gonna pay off whatever fine may come their way and move on. I don't genuinely think they're going to try to draw any attention whatsoever. Because unlike Logan and KSI and all them, that just can't shut up and have to keep going on the internet to fight and argue, these companies know that the more you talk about it, the more you discuss these problems, the more the public's gonna become aware of them. I don't believe they're gonna do anything. Also, I didn't know there was a Shin-Chan video game. When did that come out? October 27th. I'm gonna look this up.
Everyone has been replying to their tweets asking for answers, and they only gave one on the 27th of October, 2 days after David Walt's tweet. A Crunchyroll spokesperson told Anime News Network that it's investigating the situation. Here's the full statement.
On Steam?
Anime fans have a special connection with dub voice talent, and that emotional expression is important in fueling more love of anime content. We are currently investigating the matter regarding the allegation of undelivered fan mail to a voice actor. We respect the privacy of all our voice actors and do not intentionally open mail or packages not intended for Crunchyroll. Any fan mail should be sent directly to talent.
Whoops! I accidentally tore open this package with somebody else's name on it. Whoops! Yeah, I do that all the time, bro. I accidentally open up other people's packages constantly. What? Checking the name on the box? Who does that? That's stupid.
And their management.
How the frick do you accidentally open mail?
That last sentence in particular is pretty damn dirty. Yeah, sure, okay, you can say that, but you could have also called David 5 years ago or just sent him an email 5 years ago when the first package came and told him, hey, your fan mail shouldn't be coming to us, it should come to you. But no, instead, you chose to open it for 5 years, distribute it for 5 years, and only now are caught because
it is blatant theft, and it doesn't matter retroactively if he should have done it or not. Because retroactively, you shouldn't have freaking opened the package. Period.
Tracking number from a specific fan.
It doesn't matter.
So again, Crunchyroll is yet in another controversy, and they come out.
You know what happens? You know what you're supposed to do if you in the U.S. live here and you get mail from someone else that's not yours, and you're like, this is not my name. You send it back. You have the right to reject the mail, and if you reject it, it has to go back by law. You can just reject it. Like if you order something on Amazon, and they're like, "Hey, I need you to sign for this," you can just tell them, "I don't want it. Send it back, please," and they'll just send it back. Like I have family that works at UPS and USPS. You can just send it back. You can just deny the accepting the mail and have it sent back. It has to go back.
Extremely unlikable, as if it's effortless for them. Of course,
like,
David's
Crunchyroll
allegations...
could have just, like, accepted it and mailed it back, returned to sender. Like, whatever the frick. There were a million things you could have done before you just started handing them out like candy.
Don't end here. He says in a tweet shortly after revealing that his mail's been stolen, saying, "Me thinking, geez, it's a good thing I didn't tell them about the gay discrimination, or the medical discrimination, or the union busting, or the continuous culture of fear, or the hostile workplace environment."
Oh, damn! Oh, damn! David said, okay, you're gonna play this game? You're gonna play this game. You wanna play that game? Let's play that freaking game.
Or 3 dots.
Let's play
Additionally,
ignorant.
another voice actress by the name of Alexis Tipton replied to his tweet saying, "Oh my god, what the f***," adding this to the fact that they constantly give out free merch to the employees and voice actors aren't allowed to participate. We also no longer get free copies of our own work.
Wait, so they give free merchandise to employees, but the voice actors are not allowed to get free merch? So David would have been sent a fan letter or fan merch. It would have been given to the employees, but David would not even be allowed to get it. That is so messed up.
We don't even
so
get invited to
incredibly
Christmas
messed up.
parties. We are just a product. Look, there's a big worry already within the voice acting community that
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with everyone here. This is why I also like one of the many reasons I got into VTubing is because I genuinely saw VTubing as the future of voice acting. This is literally the future of voice acting. You get me? I don't sound like this. This is not my real voice. But this is the future of voice acting. I'm calling it right here, baby. I've been calling it. So, no matter what, if I get offered a job in some kind of voice acting, of course I'll take it. But I always have this VTuber stuff to fall back on because this is voice acting. You get me? This is the future of voice acting. You gotta have your consistencies.
AI is going to come in and steal all their jobs.
When companies
the
like
fact
this
that
are treating
Crunchyroll
voice actors
treats their
like
voice
this,
actors like complete, utter, disposable trash on the street tells me that they're probably already looking into AI technology to not have to hire voice actors ever again.
Oh, of course they are. It's very obvious they are too, because removing the human element is the easiest way for them to like push whatever they want to push as well. If a voice actor, you know, because the more people you have, the more possibility there is for them to not agree with you. So of course they want to get rid of all the voice actors. There's too many people talking on the Twitters now.
Police suck, and I hope that Crunchyroll gets what's coming to it. I also hope that David can get all of his stuff back. But unfortunately, the idea of a lawsuit doesn't really seem very viable, or at least that's what legal experts say. Guys, stay safe out there, and if you have any important mail coming your way, do not list your company as the address. Just send it straight to your door instead. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. I love you. Mwah.
I mean, yeah, agreed. I'll say it. Common sense, but also like I'm gonna say it like I'll say it. Common sense, no duh. Do not send your mail to your workplace. Send it to your home, your private address. You cannot trust other people with your mail. At the same time, I feel like he did it in good faith because he had some confidence in the company. It kind of shows, and they screwed him over big time, and that sucks. I still have empathy for that. That is cruel. That is very cruel, Crunchyroll. That is very cruel. Phenomenal video, bro. Phenomenal video from Mujin. Thank you so much. I already shared the video on the Discord, so please go and check that out at your leisure. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today. I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi. That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!